Hey guys, Joe DeMarco from the Crazy New York Driver Show, Friday, September 2014. And I'm sure you read the title of the video by now. And it's almost unbelievable. But before we discuss the main topic of the video, which is PayPal extending its buyer protection for 6 months, let's hold off on that. Let's do a quick rehash and a quick other, some other updates, and discuss some positive things if I can. First of all, last week's video, I read all your comments. They were all interesting, and several of you guys PM'd me, and I PM'd you back. And for those of you who do not know it, eBay was down again on Sunday, the Sunday that just passed, for a good chunk of the day, from about 6 o'clock a.m. to about 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Unbelievable. Guys, I know things do happen, but 12 times they've been down this year. I think that's a bit much, and quite frankly, I don't think it's right. I liken it to a shopping mall in your area. Imagine if there's 50 or 100 stores paying rent. They all show up to go to work one day and they're all locked out. They can't go in because the mall owner hasn't let them in. Well, that's basically what happened. Nobody could bid on our items. Well, most of our items anyway. This was probably the first Sunday ever that I can remember not making a single solitary sale. Not a dime. And for me, guys, that never happens. So quite frankly, I was a bit put off with the whole thing. eBay did come back at around between 1:30 and 2 my time. So what I did at that time, I chose to use my time constructively in that I told you guys I was thinking about opting into the global shipping program for a trial basis. So I did a 2-hour Skype, believe it or not, on and off, 2 hours with my friend David, who's been with the global shipping program for some time. And I had to populate all my auctions into the program, and it was a bit more tedious for me because up till now I offer free shipping on all my domestic shipments. So therefore, I've never bothered to enter in the dimensions of the boxes or the weight, because it's just a non-issue, because I'm the guy that's paying. I weigh them on my scale, I take care of all that myself, and I bring them to be shipped. So I never had to do it before. But because I'm entering in the global shipping program, I had to do it with every one of my items, and I have over 1,000 things listed. So it took some time, and I chatted with Dave, and I finally got it done. And since then, I've already had several global shipping program sales. Now again, you guys are very strongly divided on this program. Some of you love it. You sell like crazy. You've never had a problem. Some of you guys hate it. You've been royally stung. Okay? I guess it's just, do what works for you. I'm going to try this out, and I'm going to do it for at least 2 months. And I'm going to report to you periodically as to how I'm doing. For instance, this week, so far, I've made 2 sales. One to France, one to Germany. The interesting thing is both the items that were purchased are items that I've had listed for a long time on eBay that I couldn't sell for anything. And here I had 2 international buyers swoop up and grab them. So I'm happy for that. And the shipping to Kentucky was very cheap, approximately $7 to $8 for each package. Now once it gets there, the buyer is responsible. And while I'm on that topic, I don't know how many of you guys listen to eBay Radio or listen to the webinar that they had on Wednesday. It's very important you listen to these when you can. I actually called into eBay Radio on Tuesday, and I spoke to Griff, and I was telling him about the global shipping program and how I opted into it. And he brought up a very important thing that a lot of you guys may not know. Once you ship to Kentucky and the tracking shows that it made it there, you're safe as far as an item not received case. Because let's say from Kentucky it gets lost to Germany or wherever it's going, you will not be held responsible. It shows it made it to Kentucky, you're off the hook, you can't get negged or screwed around. So I thought I'd bring that little piece of information up. As I said, eBay had a webinar on Wednesday with Jonathan Haney, and once again I contacted them. I wrote in a question and they actually fielded my question. If I think about it, I'm going to put a link to the webinar below for those of you guys who didn't catch it. And if you check out the timestamp 57 minutes into the video, you'll see where they answer my question. They refer to me as Joseph. And the question I posed to them, they were talking about that we should accept canceled transactions from bidders when a bidder asks us to cancel a transaction. Now, if it happens during the first hour, I have no problem with it. But I posed this question to the panel. I said, suppose we get a buyer who purchases our item, we ship it off to him, and as soon as we ship it, the guy says, cancel my transaction. And we say to him, oh no, sorry buddy, we've already shipped it. My question was, can the guy neg us, and can he leave us low DSRs? And Jonathan Haney said yes. He said, yes, he can neg you, and yes, he can leave you DSRs. And he said, don't worry, the odds of that happening are very low. But actually, guys, I am a little concerned about that, because if a guy contacts us and says he doesn't want the item, he's already showing that he's unhappy with the amount he paid. So if we go ahead and send it out to him, even if it's already been sent out, he's probably or possibly going to react in a negative manner. That's my concern. And as you can see, we're on our own with that. I have two news items that are very disturbing this week. Let's start with the title of the video about PayPal extending the buyer protection. What they're doing, up till now, you had 45 days with PayPal to file an item not received case or a snag complaint. And we've been talking over the last few months. I said they should really get it together and make it 30 days like eBay does. So what did PayPal do? They made it 180 days, 6 months. Now, with an item not received case, it's not all that bad, because all you're required to do is upload the tracking and prove to PayPal that you uploaded the tracking. And once they see that it was sent to the buyer and delivered, they will cover you. It happened to me once this year, and PayPal covered me, so I had no complaints. But with a snag case, this opens up all kinds of doors. For example, in the clothing line, let's say somebody sells a brand new sweater, ships it to the guy on January 1st. He wears it for 2 months, and he accidentally rips it. Or he spills soda on it. He could say that the item was sent ripped or stained. I got an eBay question. I'm not saying he will do that, and I certainly hope he wouldn't do that, but he could do it. My question for you guys, can any one of you explain the logic why PayPal would extend the buyer protection for 6 months? I don't know of any retail stores that do, or any business whatsoever. Do any of you guys feel that you particularly will be hurt by this? I mean, according to what you sell, whether it's clothes, jewelry, or whatever. Personally, in my opinion, and you know guys, I am pro eBay. Even though this isn't really an eBay issue, it's a PayPal issue, I'm giving it a thumbs down. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You know me guys, eBay fanboy #1. I speak my mind and I don't like it. I think 6 months is too long, and I'm saying it right now. I want to know what you guys think. What do you think a good time frame would be? I myself think that maybe 30 days is plenty. Last week I was talking to you guys about opting into eBay extended holiday returns, which is 3 months starting November 1st. I mean, I thought that was a long time, but this 6 months, I'm almost baffled by the whole thing. So that's where you guys come in. I'd like your opinion, especially if you guys are for it. I'd like to know if anybody thinks this is a good idea. I myself don't. 6 months is just it's just too far over the top. A month is fine. If you get something and there's a problem with it, if you don't know there's a problem with it by 1 month, then maybe the problem lies elsewhere. Let's move on to another topic which is equally as distressing and received much less media hype. In fact, I think there's only probably about 2 of you that know about this. And it has to do with China sellers that we've been talking about the last few weeks. Let me just read this to you, please. eBay is setting up warehouse facilities in the United States for use by China sellers to store their merchandise they have for sale on eBay here in the United States. This will allow China sellers to ship these items quickly to U.S. buyers. Once again, everybody's bending over for the China sellers. Why? What are they doing for us? They're undercutting us. They're selling inferior products. They're able to ship cheaper, even from China, than we are here in the United States. I think it's sad. I really do. What can we do about it? The only thing I can possibly think of is, like I said last week, keep the money right here in the United States. Okay? I'm not telling you guys what to do. You guys do whatever you want to do. I'm just telling you my opinions. This has been a rather depressing week. Guys, I know that there's a lot you guys want to talk about, even though there's only 3 or 4 topics I brought up today. Let me just rehash. I hate to say that it's all negative stuff, but this has been a tough week. This has been a real tough week. Let me rehash the points of today's video, and I'd like your comments on as many of the points as you want. Number 1, the eBay outage on Sunday, which made the 12th outage this year. You know what I really think? I mean, let's be reasonable. Things do happen that are outside of anyone's control. I accept that. But at the very least, I think every single seller deserves to be prorated for the time that eBay was down this year. Not just this last time, I mean every time. We deserve some kind of consideration. That's just my opinion. Number 2, PayPal extending the cutoff date for SNAD returns from 45 days to 6 months. You know, I almost thought that was a typo when I first read that, but it's not a typo. I'd like your opinion on that, please. Next, eBay providing warehouses for the China sellers here in the United States so they can undercut us, sell cheaper, and ship cheaper. It's wrong. And if you guys have any comments about either the eBay webinar or anything else you want to talk about, you're free to type below anything you want. Since this was such a bummer of a video to make, I'm going to leave you with one interesting tidbit, eBay related. I actually heard this on the news. I heard it on eBay radio, and there's a listing. If I have a chance, I will put that listing below. I want you to see this. The news story was NFL Philadelphia Eagles player LaShawn Shady McCoy left a 20-cent tip for a meal he had in a restaurant. Somebody got hold of that receipt where it clearly says he left a 20-cent tip, and it's signed by him, payable with his credit card, and has listed it on eBay. As of yesterday, Thursday, at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 134 people had bid on it, and it was up to $99,900. I am not kidding you guys. For a small register receipt. Unbelievable. I'm Crazy New York Driver, and you're not. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a little bit of a bummer of a video, but guys, I feel that I need to report the news accurately and concisely, whether it's good news or whether it's bad news. This week was kind of bad news, but that's what I owe it to you. I have to tell you the way it is and the way I feel. I want to hear how you feel. Comments below. I will see you guys next Friday right here on the Crazy New York Driver Show. Joe DeMarco signing off. Thank you for your time this time until next time.